today on the Spontaneous Society, Stephy here, who is really, really strangely hyper today, so bear with me here through my randomness. This week's challenge is a chain story. I realize most of you probably don't know what that is, so I'm going to sum it up for you a little bit. It's something that I've always done with my family, ever since as long as I can remember. It was like a tradition. Every year when we went camping, we'd sit around the campfire and my mom would start a story. And she'd just start this random plot that just popped into her head and would just go with it. And then she'd go into the story a little bit and then pass it to whoever was sitting next to her, and we'd go in a full circle, and the person at the end of the circle had to wrap up the story. So by the time you got to the end, it was always a really random story that just, usually get quite a few laughs. It's a pretty good time. It's lots of fun. So I decided it'd be fun to try it on YouTube. So, in this lovely little collab we have. So everyone, please close your eyes and imagine with me. You don't have to really close your eyes, but an imaginary circle that we are all sitting in at this very moment. Oh my gosh. And so I'm going to start a story, and I'm going to pass it to Faith, who will pass it to Amy, and so on and so forth until we get back to Holly, who will wrap it all up for us. So, let's see what we got here. Remember, the stories are supposed to be random. It's supposed to just you go with the flow type thing. It's very spontaneous. So here it goes. There once was a girl named Tess, and everyone called her, her dad called her Princess Tess. And she was never quite sure why, but he was also really weird. Like, he was super, not weird, but he was really, really, really protective of her. Like, he wouldn't even let her go outside of the house that they lived in. She lived a very sheltered life, obviously, and just, it didn't really bother her most of her life, though, because she got everything she ever wanted as far as, toys and stuff went. She just couldn't leave the house. And up until she was, 12, it didn't bother her. But on her 12th birthday, she started realizing that there's probably a lot more in the world than the walls that she lived inside of. And so she really suddenly wanted to, go explore. But she knew her dad wouldn't let her. And so she cocked up this plan to sneak out of the house. So she, over a week span of time, she stores food and just packs some clothes in this little sack and decides to run away for just a few days and then return home because she just wants to see a few things, So that's her plan. And she waits until it's really dark outside. It's really, really late, and she knows everyone's asleep, and she creeps out of her window and goes running off into the woods that they happen to live in front of. And she hides there until it's morning. And then in the morning, she's ready to start her adventure. What's going to happen? I don't know. Let's see what Faith comes up with for that one. So, I'll see you guys next week. I'm really, really excited to see what you come up with. Take care.